Round one about to go, and all right, 6 foot over on the orange side, and Genesis over on blue. Running with a crew of Knife Rich, Kaiden, Keith, and Jay DeBeka, and 6 foot over with B-Love, Crimson, Leaf Around, and Vanzy. So taken here by the aforementioned Vanzy in that tunnel. Approached and punched by Kaiden, and Crimson takes his 6 foot over. And looks up high. It's a good look up to B-Love over on the shoulder. He has a post pass to Leaf Around, and getting that, though, with the bound. Oh, cannot get rid of it, so B-Love takes it back. Another save, though, for Keith this time, and another grab, another grab, another grab, and a slam. Wow, okay. That happened. There you go. I can't even, how else do you cast that except saying grab, 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 slam. There it is, and Mozzie says, damn. Indeed. All right, so a minute into play, 2 points for 6 foot over. That was some wild defense there, and just the hands. Grab after grab. Very nicely done. Right here, Genesis looking for their first one as a bounce back actually goes to Crimson, and Crimson gets it stolen there by Keith. Keith diving under, going over to the shoulder, and just outside the reach, so Kaiden will have to tap that back out, and just hoping for a teammate back there. Now, there is one teammate, but playing way back there. It's Knife Rich, deep for the clear. That is some Blenders territory. But yeah, it's over here to B-Love, and so now Knife taking place inside the goal as they dish it off to Crimson. Crimson being approached on, and right now Leaf Around, lightly contested, enough time to get a pass off, but just missing the handles on that anchor. So Vanzy couldn't quite get it. B-Love missing it, but getting it the second time. Just dodging through the defense and then backing it out again. And, oh boy, there goes the crabs. It's going to make you angry, maybe even crabby. But Leaf Around finds it in the goal. Safe and sound for the 2, and that's 4 points for 6 foot over.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Yeah, H-Money. I know H-Money's on one of these teams, but like I was saying earlier, so many new ones. Can't quite remember which is which. Just as well, Mozzie, a member of Genesis, I want to say, right? And now it's going to go to the bottom of the pocket. B-Love taking it, Kaiden, the nice stun. And Jay DeBeka taking that over. And also clarify for me while you're here, Mozzie. So is it Tabaka or Tabeka? Never got like just straight up 100% confirmation, but just want to make sure. Right here, B-Love takes it away, substituting here for 6 foot over. And over and under to the bottom of the ramp. So Jay DeBeka. All right, awesome. So I got that confirmation from Mozzie. Appreciate that. One less error on my part going forward then. In that case, calling him by the right name. I'll have to inform Dimwee I was right. Not that that will actually change anything because, as he admits himself, it's part of his accent. But right there, Jay DeBeka with a little accent on the touch for a couple points on Genesis' side. Genocide? No, that's not the one. Genesis' side. There you go, whatever. Shot is a shot. That said, I'll have to remember that pun for a future one. Now, anyway, Leaf Around will take that and go down to Crimson. Forgot that they're one of those teams who do perform that rollout. There's a few of them, and whenever it happens, if I'm not paying attention to the minimap at the time, I usually get camera juked, and you know, that's never a fun thing. But anyway, right here, just unguarded for a while. B-Love, that's kind of a trademark of B-Love almost for quite a long time now. Even when he's QBing over on the nest, he'll get the disc, or in the midline, he will very rarely get rid of the disc until the defense is right up on him. Like he's in no pressure to get rid of it faster than he needs to. It's a constant thing. Now, Jay DeBeka over on the bottom. Crimson as well. Good punch from Crimson. B-Love getting stunned too. Vanzy, Crimson trying to get a boost off, but now a leech overtaken by Knife Rich, and he'll look to dump it off into the other side and do so successfully as the pocket begins to get clustered. And another bit of a clear, just finding the hands of a Genesis player right to another clear. So in those cases too, maybe want to see those open passes being made, but luckily for them, they still retain it momentarily as a short-range stack comes out, and taken nicely there by Kaiden and JDabeka. It's a good short-range stack to buy themselves an opportunity. Now that deep pass perhaps just missing a player, but taken down low by JDabeka as he dodges around and looks for his players. He has one on Ness, one on bottom. They're opting to leave Knife Rich still way deep in the back line, starting to move up a little bit here. Now Kaiden is just going to be patient with this one. I mean, it's a 2-point game. Now that's a good cutoff, but still gets that one in for the slam from Keith. Almost saved, but ties it up just the same, and they'll take that. Gladly, in fact.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
So thus far, and again, I assume a lot of you are getting the read on the Twitch extension for the stats, so I don't have to bring it up too much on my own accord, but 4 points for Leaf around. So leading the way for 6 foot over. B-Love contesting this one. Good grab, swinging around on Kaiden like a fire pole before Crimson receives the disc. So off to Vanzi now, over there. Vanzi looking handsy, trying to get rid of the disc. B-Love trying not to miss on the grab. He'll dodge through a pair of defenders. Keith trying to kind of strangle B-Love over there, but no, Crimson does get the delivery. So 3:33 left in this one. First round match so far. In the match so far, that is. And Vanzi receives a pass, inverts, and converts into the 2-point goal. So 6 foot over, going up by a pair here in the last third of this round. And they'll take that pretty gladly. Now, speaking of gladly, glad to see all of you over there in the Twitch chat and the viewership as well. Got a few dozen coming in and out, hovering around that 30 zone. Great to see. Makes a Pally happy. Now over here it goes to Kaiden, and he'll go in with a pass actually across to Keith. Keith getting stunned, tried to duck through, but that was a nice read by B-Love to be there and show no love on the stun. That one makes me laugh every time. It was Ryan Rhino from Team Joker who started doing that a lot over the past few months. And, yeah. Those crab moves. I guess more so, really, almost something that originated out of Echo Combat as much as anything. Those spastic crabs, as some of the fandom like to call it. In fact, there was a combat team named that, I believe, or at least something crabs. But taking the grab is Keith. Just squeezes through with that pass to him up top and down into the goal. Nice drop off from Keith to JDabeka, who does find the tie right back.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8.
As any dude asking about that crab move. Yeah, if you have, I suppose, fast enough hands, or if you're a professional swimmer, you can potentially get some extra speed, greater than that 5 meters per second, just by crawling around, but can't find the bottom of the goal there off the intercept. So it's one of those moves, though, that crab. I mean, it can work. It's hilarious to look at. It's also potentially physically exhausting, and, you know, it's not going to be ideal to go to all the time, but nothing else, just a good way to kind of keep defenses on their toes just by crawling up with your fingers. But now the disc won't linger too long here on that side. It gets a clear off. Not really anyone, though, on this side for Genesis, so maybe an ill-advised clear, just kind of clearing into 4 defenders, essentially, allowing 6 foot to retake. Now, just as I say that, Keith finds a disc, but does not make the pass, or find the pass, rather. A duck through here from JDabeka. Good pass, but better cut off from Crimson. Vanzi taking that away. Over into the corner to B-Love, and he'll back that out. So, oh no, leaving the goal, though. That could be dangerous. Oh, man, that is absolutely killer. Now, that is just a matter of experience at work there. B-Love honestly making the strategically correct move. But again, so the case is he's, sub-situation. The chemistry's not there, and you have teams, a bit newer to the comp scene, so they're not necessarily well aware for that meta. So even though that really hurts, and B-Love probably not feeling that too good about that one, just conceptually, that's the right thing you want to do. That's the thing that most teams will do. Opt for those back passes to reset your offense right into the goal. But just not working out. And that is a tough way, especially for Genesis to lose this round. Or sorry, for 6 foot over to lose this round. So it will be 9-6 victory for them just based off of that. Very tough ending. But still some more clock to burn coming into this next one. So we'll go over to the scoreboard there, the end of the first round. We can see leading for Genesis is Jada Baker with 4 points, Keith with a couple. Obviously the other 3 points, unfortunately to B-Love there, but over there as well, he does have 2 steals and 12 stuns. Crimson with a pair of assists and a save. Leaf around with 4 points, a save and a steal. Vanzi with 2 points and 3 saves. So we saw some of those nice saves early in the round just to open it up on the floor. But yeah. So for Genesis, basically their best hopes are just use this 1 minute of intermission time or so to reestablish what they're doing, you know, and just recognize the fact that, you know, they got pretty lucky there on that situation. It was a tight game otherwise, and so they want to tighten it up, obviously, and just continue what they're doing. I think maybe looking for a few more passes with those back passes and things like that. For 6 foot over, same kind of thing. Key for them is just to remain untilted off of this intermission. As I try to get the screen back up for you, apologies, but yeah, for 6 foot over, just recognize it wasn't a situation as Jada Baker makes that for the 2 points. But for 6 foot over, it wasn't a situation where that needs to, you know, the negative feelings from that needs to carry over into the next round. They played it very well just the same. Just unfortunate at the end there, but they can easily stay in this and force a round 3 with the right mentality. So launching out, Leaf around takes it. There, almost juked again, kind of was, but Crimson takes it away, and B-Love right there on the left side. You can see the contesting coming in, Keith there, and Leaf around receiving. So in the midline, just as he gets stunned, Leaf gets the pass, but takes a bad roll. Actually still into a tap shot maybe for B-Love, almost, but not quite. And now Kaiden will clear, but miss clear. So potential here for a 6 foot over, but getting stunned is Vanzi. So Keith manages to snag it and send a bouncy one just into the midline. So just checking behind is Kaiden before the back pass there to Jada Baker. And now Keith taking that one, looking for pass, maybe has a couple options down low, and Kaiden can't find that grab off the anchor, so good short-range boost from B-Love. Trying to contest that one. You can see Keith just very slippery, grabs the disc, and at the exact same time inverts himself, making him even harder to grab there. So some good heady play as that shot just low momentum thanks to the good defense and the stun from the nest area. And over here to Keith, taking that through. He has teammates on either side, but some defense playing pretty nearby. That's a tight woven pass, but great shot. So Genesis buys themselves another one here off of some good team play. H1ESD saying it's pronounced Kaiden. Okay, my bad then. I was, I guess, rolling with the anime pronunciation that I'm used to. So, okay, then. All right. Anyways, okay, then. Here we go. Vanzi will take that, passing it to B-Love over on the other side. B-Love takes it and sends it over to mid. There's a lot of contesting going out. So, Kaiden will take this away, send it to Jay. Jay looking for a pass, can't quite get that one. And over here, bouncing to the side wall. A pair of players, either team, B-Love and Jada Baker. Keith taking that one away. You see the floor play here from Jay, as well as the backboard. Just up top, waiting for maybe a pass, but just being cut off nicely by the defense from Kaiden. So working it in off of some more passes. They're just being patient, and this is a very nice play from Genesis. They're trying to look for their best opportunities, because right now the defense kind of stifling in the bubble, but not opting to roam too far out of it. So when that's the case, when the defense does stick inside the 2-point zone often like this, you want your players inside the bubble if you're on offense to just win a brawl, win a punch, and then hit him with a cross pass for a good goal, basically. Just catch the defense off balance, and right off balance like that is Jay. Nice play. He just grabbed the toe line and, towed the line on the 3-point shot at 8 meters. Great look for him.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The round has begun.
So on this rollout, Leaf around taking the disc. Jay playing on the defensive. And Vanzi looking for the cross pass, but this one's cut off by Keith. Ooh, bold punch, and it does pay off. He gets the deep bounce shot attempt. It is very close, but not quite. Caden looking for a grab, gets stunned instead. Vanzi taking that away, and now the good pass over to Crimson, and then right back to Vanzi. So some good two-man game. And this is the passing you like to see. That's very nice and neat. Of course, Jay DeBaco pressuring with some great defense after that, and just causing maybe a turnover here. Let's see who gets it first. Cam Jam in the chat saying Genesis is cleaning up now. And over to Keith. See H Money up there saying, Palidore, what do you call a door? A Palidore. Yes, are you aware of the Palidore? It used to be a thing, like an actual in-game Easter egg of sorts. Been a while since it's been in the game, since the lobby switched over, but that was a real thing in the game, as a matter of fact. Now over here it goes to the ceiling, taken up by Keith, but he'll be stunned. A good delivery though, and into the goal. So Caden looking good on the 9th point now for Genesis, and starting to pull away here in the second half of round 2.
7, 6, 5,
Ooh. I went into the darkness there for a second. But don't worry, Palidore is back in the light. Right here, looking to ignite themselves a lead, or a goal if they can, for 6 foot over, and a bit of a scoring drought. But look at the defense on the stacks. Some good recollection from 6 foot over. But now need to find their way back into the goal. So Keith from the bottom is being lightly pressured by Leaf, opting to dive, but ooh, great pass. Just couldn't convert the shot though. So after a little bit of brawling, the teams are going to converge on each other here. B-Love taking that away first. And now going for a back out, or actually just a clear out. But deep in the back is Knife, who's been there for quite a while. Might want to see them play more up. Granted, Genesis is ahead by quite a bit. But over here with a good pass. Again, dinging off the corner there. So a couple for Genesis where they got the great pass but couldn't quite find the finish through the defense and make that 3 in a row now. So starting to just barely miss their angles, and you'd figure that the goalpost is a lot smaller of a target to hit. So in a way, it takes some skill to hit that 3 times in a row. At least that's what I always told myself when I did it. In any case, off to the bottom of the ramp. It will be taken there by Keith. He breaks away, looks for the breakaway play, cannot make the 3. And results in Vanzi taking it over, but not for too long, because Jay Tabeka is there going under, but then on the second stunner, that was B-Love flying on through. Loses the disc for 6 foot over, at least for a moment. Right now, just loose on the side. So taken right back here by 6 foot, and spacing out now. You have teammates on either side looking for a boost. There's some nice short-range passing, trying to find someone, but then Keith cutting that off. So that deep shot attempt will be very close. Oh, grabbed out of there by Caden, and there's the 11th point. So a nice buffer for Genesis here, as a 6 foot over trying to collect themselves. Game may be out of hand at this point in terms of a comeback, but they're still want to look for some good execution, because that kind of stuff definitely carries over, game to game. And right there, trying to make it a game, a ding this time coming through, but Caden's there again, so he's starting to pile on some points as well. There's 13 for Genesis.
12, 11, 10, 9,
Apollo, please, in the chat, saying a few minutes ago, I've never been more invested in spectating. Yeah, good to hear. That's kind of why we want to stream so much and trying to get as many of these as possible. A missed opportunity there goes up 16 now for Genesis. And yeah, Mozzie's saying when you're on the team, it also feels more in a... it's something you can invest in more, essentially. And yeah, it's always good to have these streams up. I know when I was playing actively, you know, we weren't able to be streamed as much. Granted, Eclipse for a lot of the time, early those days, were not, you know, we weren't a team that were happy to be streamed by just anyone. If it was an official stream, that was one thing, but otherwise, we had our secrets, is what it is. But these days, there's not really a lot of secrets to keep anymore in this meta. You know, there's some unique jousts that people have, especially, you know, offensively, as B-Love goes in there for some offense. So getting 6 foot over on the board in this last minute. But yeah, these days, it's just nice to be able to immediately have something to review and look over, analyze, and just as well have all your hype plays and moments be captured for the Echo Arena world to see. I know for me on these streams, you know, I try to keep a balance. I probably lose it sometimes, but I try to keep that balance of, when I can, analyzing or critiquing things, especially for some newer teams on the scene. But at the same time, I don't know how much people actually want that. So, Cole for 19, actually, right at the very end there. Looks like it made it through, so 19-2. But yes, I'm really happy to see like all these new teams and players that I have not seen before in competition actually showing up in VRML Season 1, as well as the preseason. So, you know, I like to try and provide useful information where I can. Granted, sometimes maintaining that balance of doing it without being like super, I don't know, patronizing is another thing. I know, again, as a player, you don't always want to hear those critiques. So, you know, let me know if it's something you don't actually care for. But yes, anyway. Over here, we'll go to the score screen. It's Jay DeBeka piling it with 11 points, leading the way for the team. Keith with 8, Caden with 6. 5 assists to Keith, very nice for a Knife Rich with a save, just playing the back line quite a bit there. For 6 foot over, it was Leaf Around with 4 points, 2 for Vanzy, B-Love with 2. There's 6 saves for Vanzy, as well as 12 stuns, and 3 saves for Crimson. Nicely done. So that will be the series. 9-6 in the first round. Just off again that unfortunate play at the very end in what was a very tight woven game. And then over on the second round, it's 19-2. So pulling away there for Genesis and just kind of snowballing off of that late game momentum from round 1. CamJam G in there saying, when I was on Skull after our game versus Reboot, we hopped on big screen and watched it over and saw what we did right and wrong. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things that are just super handy with having these VODs. Regardless if I'm even talking or not, just the fact that you can have, you know, the full spec view and get a good look at what everyone's doing. Very handy tool. And you'll notice, like the best teams, especially, they're conscious about that stuff. They'll look and they'll analyze and they'll figure out what works against certain teams better or worse. Again, if nothing else, too, I highly recommend teams to just watch some of the top-ranked teams. If you're one of the newer players to comp, watch some Team Joker games, Kangarillas, Illuminati, Infinite, all those top teams. I mean, list goes on. Flare, Instinct, there's a lot of great ones out there with a veteran presence. And just watch their team play, watch how they pass, how they roll out. Especially, again, kind of in light of this match, too. Just those back passes, the heavy back passing, the resetting. Basically, you're not pushing on offense all the time unless you have the advantage. Finding the best shot opportunities, I always say, let me go back to the store screen real quick, or the gameplay screen too. Like I always emphasize just how it's really handy to take shots whenever you can. Make passes to the barrier, right here, the barrier or nest, or the backboard. The reason for that is because you got wide open goals to deal with, wide angles. See, if you're the offensive player and say you're taking it from, as Crimson dances it here, but say you're the offensive player and you get a pass down here and you try to make a move on the goal, you know? And if you're shooting from this angle, it's a lot thinner of a window to make it in there, whether you're shooting from head on or the bank shot. For competent goalies, of which there are many in Echo these days, that's a much easier save because their hand only has to go in a couple places, right? To save that. If you approach from these angles, whether behind or in front of the goal, their hands can't cover every angle, plain and simple, right? So if you can get those center passes, those cuts, I mean, you have 4 different angles as well as a center to shoot at. You can throw in shot fakes. I mean, it gives you so much higher of a shot opportunity. So that's why if you look at those top-rated teams, they'll take an awful lot of shots from directly in front or directly in back. So something to keep aware of. But anyway, that's it for Coach Adore's Corner, I guess, and for this round. So